In the early game in the Premier League on Saturday, Fulham 0, Manchester City 4, and City back on top of the Premier League. Was that as easy as they could have hoped for today, Stevie, at Craven Cottage for City?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, I think, as always, you're always a little unsure that something might go wrong. And that kind of certainly kept City on the toes. You know, we got Gvardiol putting them ahead. It really was about getting the second goal to finish this game off. And the truth is that Fulham never really threatened. They had a couple of little breaks, but, you know, they never had an opportunity where you're talking about, oh, if only, or had he done something else, or, I mean, there really wasn't any of that. So for me, it was all about Man City getting the second goal. And when they got that through Foden, the game was over. You could visibly see Fulham realising the game was over, and they sort of dropped a little level as well. And then it was exhibition stuff after that, pretty much.
Of the 5 league titles that you won at Liverpool, did you ever get the feeling when it got to this stage, right, engage title-winning mode? Because that's certainly what City seem to be in right now.
Well, I would say that what we saw today was exactly how you should go about it. Yeah. Be on your toes, do all the things that got you in that place, in the first place, and keep creating and keep scoring goals. And the key is putting the ball in the net when you're on top, because then that takes the pressure off. That means that you can then relax and just play your football. And when you're as good as City and they can relax and play their football, then the only thing that's going to happen is they're going to create more chances. And as we saw today, by the end, score more goals.
21 games now unbeaten, Manchester City. That's the longest since your boys, Liverpool, did it between August 19 and February 2020. It just seems like with players coming back, getting fully fit, Kevin De Bruyne fit, Phil Foden firing on all cylinders, Erling Haaland, even though he didn't score today, getting back among the goals as well. But the key guy seems to be right now an unsung hero, Josko Gvardiol, a scoring fullback like yourself. Yeah. Has this happened by accident as far as Pep looking for someone to play that left-back role? Because he's played a few, and it's because it's taken a little bit of time for Gvardiol to settle in. But my goodness, he's just lights out right now.
Yeah, well, he's getting a lot more comfortable, certainly going forward.
Yeah.
I think the defensive side of the game was always there, but, you know, when you go from centre-back to attacking full-back, there's obviously going to be a little bit of a learning curve. And recently, he's at the top of that learning curve. You know, he's picking passes out, he's making good decisions. And, of course, the cherry on the top is when he's getting opportunities in and around the penalty box, he's been... I was going to say efficient, but he's been cool and calm and composed and taken pretty much every opportunity that's come his way. So, yeah, going forward, his game has elevated big time recently. And as I said, defensively, he always had those capabilities.
What does it take for a fullback to do what he's doing right now, to get forward, still to defend, although they don't have to do much right now, but to have that end product? The reason I'm asking you is because you did it.
Well, he's obviously comfortable in that position on the field now. You know, it's not a place that he was probably comfortable before he went to Man City because he played centre-back. And so when you get comfortable in a position, you then take a step forward. You then can start not being safe. You can then start taking chances is maybe not the best way to put it, but you become more confident in your ability that you can do more than just be forward and play little 5-yard passes. You know, you become comfortable that you can make a difference. And particularly when you actually score, all of a sudden your mindset changes to, I can do this. I'm comfortable is probably the right word. I'm comfortable here. And if I get another opportunity, I'm going to try and drive in the box and I'm going to try and score a goal. You know, these are probably things that were never in his brain before he came to Manchester City. But my goodness, they're in his brain now. And you saw the first goal. I mean, the way he took it, the way he drove in the box. He walked past Diop, picked his head up, and rolled it coolly past the goalkeeper. So, yeah, he's real. I'll say it one more time, and that'll be the last. He's real comfortable right now.
Yeah, his first goal was set up by Kevin De Bruyne. He didn't get on the score sheet, but he could have had another assist when he played it through. I think it was Akanji that missed a sitter. But Phil Foden got the second. If you stop De Bruyne and you don't stop Foden, you got a problem. Vice versa, you got a problem. Can you stop both of them? Because Fulham couldn't.
Well, I think it's interesting if you said that. If you stop De Bruyne scoring today, you stop Haaland scoring today.
Still.
As you said, you can't stop Foden. You've got Alvarez coming on, taking a penalty and scoring a goal. You've got Akanji, who should have scored. We've got Gvardiol driving in the box, putting the ball in the back of the net. I mean, where does it stop? They've got weapons all over the field, and is it really just a case of stopping De Bruyne and Haaland? Well, once again, we saw today, it's not about that. This is a real team. They've got match winners and goal scorers and football players all over the field. And you take your eye off one, unfortunately, there's a queue lining up to hurt you big time.
You've scored 2 goals. You're on a hat-trick. A penalty is awarded later on.
What? No, before you ask, no, you don't take the penalty. You drive it home. That's what the good teams do. They stick to the plan. And when you've got somebody by the throat, you just step back on it. So, no, you don't give Gvardiol the penalty to get him a hat trick.
The question.
Well, because I knew it was coming. I could tell you. I could tell with your tone. I knew it was coming. And the answer is absolutely 100% no. And the reason Man City are going to win the title is because that's what they do.
I totally agree. I totally agree. The question was actually going to be, would you have wanted to take it back in the day if you were
personally
on 2?
No, because I was
you were rubbish at penalties. I understand that, and that's the thing. Look, if somehow I want to finally get onto the Spurs game in a second, but if they drop points against Spurs and somehow they lose the title by 1 goal or whatever, and then they look back at a potential Gvardiol miss if he was to, I totally get that. So let's move on finally to midweek. It's the Spurs game. It's the one that everyone's marked on the calendar who's associated with Spurs, with Manchester City, with Arsenal, with Aston Villa and everything like that. The way that Spurs play, attack, and defending at times optional, does that play right into City's hands here?
Absolutely. I mean, if you're Manchester City, every time you step on the field, whether it's Pep or whether it's the players are going, right, I hope this team doesn't come and sit behind the ball and sit on the edge of the box and make it tough and give us nothing in and around the penalty box. You know, that's what they don't want. They want somebody to come and play them. They want a game of football because they know if it's a game of football, they're going to beat you. 99 times out of 100, they're going to beat you. So, yeah, I don't see how Spurs at home play any other way than try and play football. And that means that, listen, Manchester City this season, as much as they're sat top of the league, have been kind of vulnerable a little at times. You know, they don't look rock solid. But the problem is, if you're going to go at them, and you might get some opportunities, the problem is you're going to leave probably twice as many up the other end. And for us watching, that's fantastic because we might end up with a blockbuster game with 2 teams just going for it. And that's on paper what it seems as though it's probably going to be. And if that's what it is, well, get your money on Man City. That's what they want, big time.
Because we've seen enough games that Ange Postecoglou has coached to know that he doesn't change. Doesn't matter who the opposition is. And I doubt he'll change this midweek as well. Do you?
No, and they're at home.
Yeah.
Listen, you could kind of see a little tweak away from home. But at home, no, I think he's... And certainly in the press over the last 2 or 3 weeks, he's set his stall out that he wants his players to go forward. He wants them to pass forward. He don't want them passing the ball back. We saw that last weekend when he's having a go at them for passing it backwards. Again, if you're Man City, please pass it forward, come at us, leave some gaps, and then we will absolutely kill you on the break.
And we're at that stage of the season, aren't we? Because Man City fans become Man United supporters as well when they face Arsenal tomorrow. And Arsenal fans become Spurs fans in midweek when they face Man City. That's what happens at this time of the season. By the way, did Do you score many penalties in your career?
No.
Okay.
I told you, I'm not good at penalties.
Okay, Gvardiol never got the opportunity for the hat-trick, but Julian Alvarez got the fourth as City went back to the top of the table. Bye for now.